Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well during these testing times. My name is Ujjwal and I'm here to talk about the newly launched ESG portfolio. Before I get delve deeper into the portfolio, just a quick background about me. I have around 7 years of experience in the finance industry. In my prior role, I was working as an investment banker, mostly doing research, valuation, financial modeling and projections. And very recently, about 7 months ago, I joined Green Portfolio and we've launched this new ESG portfolio. Quickly, I want to talk about Green Portfolio as well, which is my firm. Green Portfolio is a SEBI registered PMS and a research analyst. We are a research house focused on asset management, led by two young entrepreneurs, Anuj and Devam, both of whom are chartered accountants, and together bring in about 15 years of experience in finance and investments. Now, getting straight to the point, what is ESG? ESG is the consideration of environmental, social, and governance factors in the investment process. And here we are looking at the process of making money versus how much are we making. So essentially, in ESG investing, it's very important for us to know how the company is making money and factors like whether the process itself is harming the environment, or whether the companies are treating their employees unfairly or even the shareholders unfairly, right? And all of this is very important when it comes to ESG investing, because we are not really looking at the just the end goal, but even the journey of making money. Now, what exactly are we looking at in each of these buckets, whether it is environmental, social, and governance? What are the factors that we look at? So, in starting with environment, we are looking at climate change, companies that are better positioned to manage the climate change risk, companies that are utilizing natural resources more optimally and doing waste management in a way that their emissions are minimized or even negative. Companies that are better taking advantage of new environmental opportunities and creating business models out of that. That's the broader environment bucket. Within the social bucket, we look at companies that are taking advantage of social opportunities, or companies that basically manage their human capital very well in terms of the overall employee welfare and their happiness. The third aspect within the social bucket is the spending on CSR. As you know that as per company law, companies have to invest at least 2% of the profits on CSR activities. So we also track, what is the spending of companies, on CSR, and who is sort of creating more value and impact through their CSR spending. The third bucket is the governance bucket, and this bucket is something that we have earlier also focused during our investment making process. Here we are looking for businesses which are ethical, management that are ethical, that treat their shareholders fairly. The otherwise the level of corporate governance in the company is much better, and they comply with all the SEBI regulations. The company also is in line with future government policies and is actively involved in policy making as well. So these are the conditions, these are the factors in each of these buckets, ES and G, which we would look at when it comes to ESG investing. And why is it so important for us to look at these factors? Now, if you look at the business environment, that the current business environment where companies are getting affected by all sorts of factors. Some of these are non-financial factors like climate change, sustainable farming or mining, data privacy and security, greater regulatory scrutiny from the government and other public bodies, or even lifestyle changes. Now, these are factors that are affecting businesses as we as we enter into the next decade or so. And so companies that are better able to manage these risks are in some way better positioned to able to create wealth in the long term. We believe that companies that harm the environment or poorly treat their employees and other stakeholders, or even have poor governance standards, will eventually not be able to create wealth in the long term. And the impact of some of these negative factors can stay with the company for long term. So overall, we want to avoid such companies in our portfolio in our own investing process, and hence reduce all of these risks when it comes to investing. And here are some big examples where huge value destruction has happened due to poor ESG. And some of these examples you would know. In 2009, we saw the largest corporate fraud. It was an accounting fraud by Satyam, where which led to basically the downfall of the company, and hence the downfall of all the shareholders who were invested in the company. So it was a huge wealth destruction. Second is a company which is more affected from a social as well as environment point of view, which is Vedanta. And if you know, this was in news in 2018, that their copper smelting plant had to close down due to the locals opposing it because of environmental and health reasons. And so a lot of money that got invested in that plant was basically useless from a returns point of view. The third company, and this we are seeing more and more, is in terms of public backlash when it comes to data privacy and infringement. Basically, now as we data is becoming very important, and the security of the data is becoming important. So companies that are not able to safeguard can have a huge impact on their value creation. And Facebook is one such example, which has sort of consistently been in bad news because of these reasons. And we believe for these reasons the stock has also underperformed in the long term. The fourth example is an automobile company that had to pay a huge amount of fine, almost like $2.8 billion, on account of falsified emission test results. That's again a sort of cheating done by the company, dishonest measures taken to promote unviable businesses. And the last example that I want to talk about is Manpasand Beverages, which did a 40 crore GST scam, and because of the scam, the stock tanked heavily. Now, all of these examples are examples of huge wealth destruction, and you would not want to have these companies in your portfolio, because having a single company like this in a portfolio of 15 to 20 stocks can be a huge wealth destroying, and in the long term you will not be able to create sustainable returns. So our effort with ESG portfolio is to avoid these companies altogether and the risks that come with owning these companies. Why are we also very bullish on ESG is that ESG has started to become very important globally. It had picked up the trend more like 2015 2016, and in India over the last 2 years this trend has really picked up. As you can see, we are the sixth largest economy globally, but in terms of our ESG funds, we only have 23 ESG funds in the country, whereas more developed economies like United States and UK have 500 each. So that talks about the scale of ESG fund flow that is going to come in India over the next decade or so. And this has started to show up. Like I said, we have seen a 76% increase in funds flowing into ESG funds in the last year only, which is a huge rise. And this is backed by some of the tangible steps being taken. As you can see, NSE and BSE have partnered with United Nations to start a sustainable stock exchange initiative, and this is to promote ESG disclosures, ESG investing in India. SEBI has also mandated that top 1000 companies will have to come out with their report, which is going to be called the Business Sustainability Report, which is nothing but more disclosures from ESG point of view. And very recently, our Indian Prime Minister, in the recent Glasgow summit, committed to India becoming a carbon neutral nation by 2070. So as we can see, ESG is the new trend. We will see a lot of businesses getting impacted by this trend, and so we want to be better prepared when some of these hurdles start hitting businesses. We want our portfolio companies to better manage these risks going forward. And you know what do these risks entail? Essentially, if someone is able to manage these risks well, what does it mean? It means that these companies have a lower cost of capital. They get support from the government, not just in terms of policy but subsidies as well, and hence are able to increase their top line consistently year on year while delivering higher ROICs, and most importantly, motivated employees. The net result of all of this is that these companies, first of all, they command premium valuation. And even when it comes to volatility, these stocks are relatively less volatile. And during adverse market movements, the drawdown on these stocks is also lesser. Uh, and so net, you know, this chart beautifully explains that Nifty 100 ESG has outperformed both the Nifty 100 and Nifty 50 over both 1 year and 5 year periods. So as you can see, ESG portfolios has outperformed other portfolios in the market, both in the short and the long term. Now, why is this important? Because traditionally, when we think of ESG, one tends to think that these portfolios won't or will not be generating as high returns as some of the other portfolios. Now I want to specifically come to this point because this is very important in terms of the risk adjusted returns that ESG portfolios make. In our view, the risk of an ESG portfolio is lesser than any other portfolio because we are removing for the environmental, social and governance risks that can possibly derail a business. And with these reduced risks, we are generating higher returns. So on a risk adjusted basis, our returns are much higher than, as you can see, some of the other portfolios. Now, having looked at the story macro wise, what ESG is and how it is going to shape up over the next decade or so, what is Green Portfolio's approach to ESG investing? Now, this approach is basically a combination of quality and ESG. So traditionally, we've focused on quality when it comes to investing. So we've always had high profitable businesses with good balance sheet, good cash flow generation, and a prudent management, prudent and honest management, which has managed the business well. Now, when it comes to ESG, we are also combining qualitative factors. Some of those factors that I spoke about earlier in the presentation. We are combining these factors with our quality to come to an intersection which will qualify in our portfolio. So basically, our portfolio is the intersection of good quality stocks plus they rate high in terms of ESG. That's essentially our approach to ESG investing. As you can see here, the current small case portfolio that we have is spread across different sectors. Now, one more important thing that I want to highlight here is the fact that we are creating a mid/small cap focused ESG portfolio, which is a very different strategy from the other strategies that we've seen in the market, because most of the other strategies are focused on large cap companies. And if you look at the portfolio distribution, most of these portfolios are focused on IT as well as banking. We've taken a conscious call of investing in companies across sectors, even in sectors like chemicals, pharma, power, where some of these companies can be slightly more harming than the other sectors. And our approach here is we want to invest in companies that are innovating in new technologies that either have a positive impact or reduce the negative impact on the environment. So net that is our approach, because we want to encourage these companies and promote more of these business models. We want to give a premium to these companies when it comes to their business strategy. So as you can see, our companies are across power trading, software, finance, brokerage, apparel, consumer finance, NBFC, specialty chemicals. So well diversified portfolio with a focus on mid and small caps. And our idea is to invest in future multipliers. We believe that going forward, a lot of money is going to flow into these companies, and hence these companies will command higher valuations going forward. So today, in today's environment, this gives an opportunity to take positions in these companies at lower valuation. And 5 years, 6 years down the line, these companies will be large cap companies with much higher valuation. So that is where we think there's a lot of wealth creation potential that we want to catch up. In terms of our own selection process, it's a very simple chart. We essentially shortlist a bunch of companies based on our ESG ratings and ESG ratings provided by third party agencies that we rely on. And then we come out with a list of mid cap stocks. We do our own qualitative and quantitative assessment on these stocks, and these stocks then 10 to 15 of these stocks qualify into our portfolio. And then we rebalance the portfolio quarterly to make sure that we are in the right direction and also aligned to the market cycles. Now, why should you invest in this portfolio? Like I mentioned, we are potentially investing in multi-baggers with this portfolio, which are coming in at much lower risk, because we have removed all the ESG risk in a way. So we believe this is a much less riskier portfolio, and these companies will create long-term wealth over a 4 to 5 year period. These small and mid cap companies have the potential to become large cap companies, and hence creating a lot of wealth. And green portfolio, as you know, we have a history of identifying such opportunities early on, which can be a huge wealth creators for our investors. Most importantly, we help our investors make an entry and exit into these stocks. So you would appreciate investing in a good company at a higher valuation is not really a good investment. So it's important to sort of know at what valuation to enter these stocks and at what valuation should you exit. So we believe our a lot of our value add comes in terms of giving that advice to our investors in terms of staying invested for the long term, and also when to enter and exit a particular stock. As you can see, this portfolio, this is a 3-year history backtested data of the green portfolio ESG, and we've compared it with Nifty Small Cap 100. As you can see, this portfolio has outperformed the Nifty Small Cap by a huge margin. We are talking at least 2.5x performance versus the Nifty Small Cap. And this we are hopeful of in the going future as well. We believe that the ESG portfolio will outperform most of the other benchmarks over the long term by at least 5 to 10% over the long term. Like I mentioned, this who should be investing in this portfolio? It's mostly for long-term investors who want to stay invested even during rough times. They do not panic, because we are looking at a long-term wealth creation horizon. In the short term, we've pointed this again and again. The sentiments can dominate the market, but in the long term, the performance of the company has to reflect in the stock performance as well. And we believe these companies will excel in terms of performance, and hence that should show up in the price as well. Our advice to investors would be to start with the minimum investment and then do a regular SIP. We believe the SIP approach helps investors better their position, and it also sort of creates that habit of long term investing, which in the long term is very helpful in terms of wealth creation. We believe that moving money here and there at shorter periods does not create wealth in the long term. During favorable conditions, the portfolio will definitely beat the benchmark, and during unfavorable conditions, we believe that it will perform less poorly than some of the other benchmarks, and thus creating the alpha that we would want from this portfolio. Now, to end this, I would say that we are very bullish on this approach to investing. We believe that over the next decade or so, a lot of good ideas are going to come out of this portfolio, and we want to be partners to you in your investing journey as we sort of create more and more opportunities like this. You can always reach out to us if you have any queries on the portfolio. My email ID is ujjwal@greenportfolio.co. We are also reachable on smallcase@greenportfolio.co. And this portfolio is accessible on the Smallcase website. So you can always go to greenportfolio.smallcase.com and access our portfolio there and some of the other portfolios that we've also created. Happy investing, and we look forward to be partners to you in your investing journey. Thank you.